It's so fucking hot here.
I wanted to make it a little bit more, poetical. In the midst of heatwave, we welcome you, dear listeners. But yeah, it's so fucking hot.
Yeah. Hello, and welcome in our next episode. I'm Bart from NIS4.
And James from NIS4 as well. Welcome, people. We are sitting in a small room with a fan. Maybe you can hear it in the background, which gives us a little
because
bit.
in our studio we don't have air conditioning.
We have in most rooms, but where I usually work on content, we don't. So it's a little bit of an oven to boil people here. Guys,
We have a lot to talk about.
as always, we always have a lot to talk about. But today there was actually in past week a huge topic, which was big summer preview from Warhammer. Of course, in our lives, hobby lives, there is a lot of stuff going on as well.
As always.
As always, but here we probably mostly focus on the big summer preview, but because as always, Warhammer GW gives something for each system which it holds, right? So
The past few months were quiet on the wargaming front, but right now every publisher decided to
reveal something.
reveal something.
And we will try to, give you a small pill, but a very strong pill with our all wargaming news we dug out and we found worth.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let's jump straight.
Let's go.
You're drinking from a big cup. Like,
Indeed.
it looks like some faction from AOS would drink it from it as well.
From the dwarf holdout.
I was thinking about Ogre Mouth Tribes because there is a reveal with Ogre Mouth Tribes.
Finally, after so many years.
But we'll get into it because there are some, let's say, more important stuff.
By the way, we will have a bit more finally after so many years because GW decided to release a lot of new models for the old factions to replace a lot of old sculpts.
We'll get into it because I think one faction in 40k also benefits from that point.
To be honest, recently we have more refreshments than new models sometimes.
I think it's a good change of pace because you cannot reveal all the times new models, right? You need to a little bit, slow down, especially when you have new edition coming on into one game and to the second game you own, you will have probably.
We received well-deserved refreshment of Space Marines Intercessors, which looks like exactly the same as the previous one. Okay,
I won't comment on
one
this.
or two different helmets and maybe a shoulder pad here and there, but yeah, it was irony, of course.
It is. Last time we were talking about Armageddon box, but yeah, Space Marines didn't deliver. Let's say like that, in my opinion, because I was waiting for something more a little bit. After the box arrived, we opened them, and orcs are battle suited for the start of the new edition than Space Marines.
Before we will jump into the tons of news, we have to remind one sad event which recently happened, and it is John Blanche, which passed
away.
You
You probably heard this news, but for the sake of the honoring the guy and his influence,
he
which
created
he had,
so many iconic artworks for Warhammer.
I've got like half of my wallpapers on my computer are his arts. Probably my favorite one with Black Templars on Armageddon, which is, in my opinion, iconic. Then with some Battle Sisters. Yeah,
he gave a dark soul to the Warhammer world.
I think we wouldn't have this grimdark aesthetic which we have in Warhammer without him. It will look definitely different because his early arts, gave a direction for the future people. A lot of people probably because Warhammer grew so big. Which are creating art, creating content in Warhammer universe. And I think the many people which even write books have in mind his pictures while describing the events which are happening in their own books. So
if you love his style and want to check how he inspired modelers around the world, it is worth to check something called EINQ 28.
Okay.
It is a It is a movement, modeling movement, which is heavily inspired by his works. It is people convert models and paint them in John Blanche style.
In his style.
Yeah, Inquisition 28.
Yeah, if there is a link, we'll put this in our description, so go check it out.
There is also a very cool fanzine, InQ28, which I really, really recommend, with tons of a lot of good articles, a lot of good photos, fan-made, cool stuff. So yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in
John
peace,
Blanche.
but your legacy lives on. So like if you're watching us from somewhere, if there is somewhere after everything,
I believe that he created his own wargaming system, which will be on the crowdfunding soon.
Okay, so it was like to the drawer, put into the drawer probably.
Yeah, the people behind the project announced that they want to honor the John Blanche legacy by driving this project till the end, because he created the idea for the models, for the rules, stuff like this. I don't remember the name. If you remember the name, please share in comments, maybe for other people who listen to this podcast. But yeah, it's worth to mention that he will have his own system.
Yeah, for your information, we don't script those our talks. So yeah, if we are having something like a brainwave coming to us, we just talk about it. So if we will find it and information about it, we'll also link this in the description.
Yeah, and the second topic, it's more private topic.
Yeah,
because we started to play with James and with our colleague the Stalker board game.
Yes, this is one thing we actually started playing.
Yeah, but because let's talk about this. Yeah.
So like I love Stalker games. It's my favorite setting of end of the world. Let's say like that, because in the Stalker setting, it's not end of the world, but post-apocalyptic like scenario. Stalker is my favorite because like we've got a Fallout, which is like more American based. Stalker is more European based, and like. Let's call it like that, Slavic based, and it's very, very dark, very dark, dirty.
Say something in Stalker language. A catchphrase.
Ach no, chiki briki w damkie. I've got even shirty right now on me.
So
chiki briki. Like there is a lot of build up on that setting. So like everything Slav related, squatting with both heels touching the ground, free stripes, hard bass Adidas and stuff like that. It's heavily influenced by the Stalker games as well, because many lines, there is even a hard bass hymn which is based on one of the bandit lines from the original Stalker games, Shadow of Chernobyl. So like playing the board game with miniatures, like from the Stalker game, with monsters, with enemies, with factions, with a system which is actually cool, like making the maps, the encounters, entering them. It feels like Stalker, but also it feels like something completely new, because you had this idea to compare it to old Jagged Alliance games.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you were old as us.
It is another game from Awaken Realms.
Yes.
Which are known for a big multi-boxes, multi-expansion projects. I backed this game during the original campaign.
I bought it after the original campaign, paid a little bit more, but as well I bought my own copy full pledge. So because I really like the idea.
I can call myself a veteran of Awaken games.
Yes,
because I played a lot of them since the first one, the Tainted Grail, and I'm waiting for the Lance of Evershade, which will be delivered to me hopefully this year.
Right now they are having those Concordia on the game found as well.
Yeah, and from this point of view, the Stalker is much more tactical and much more gameplay than other games. Campaign is quite okay, but it's not so deep. It's more like a loosey connection of single scenarios.
There is no like deep meaning behind it, right?
Yeah. That's
you're just stalkers. You're just stalkers trying to get some rubles. Or coupons, I should say. And
it is a loosey rope which connects the world. You have a map with stickers which unlocks the new locations.
But it's basically stalker because like in the Stalker world, you are a fellow Stalker, so you are probably nobody who tries to do some missions, grab some money, drink some vodka, and that's it. and it matches perfectly the setting. But I know where you're getting it with it, because like the core of the gameplay is those scenarios. Are those scenarios,
and they are really, really nice.
And they are kinda difficult as well, because we've got smashed yesterday by the scenario.
Rules are simple but quite heavy. I mean, there are not so many tiny rules or overwriting rules, but there are a lot of general rules.
There is a lot of mechanics, which you need to know, you need to remember, and when you're looking at those separately, you think, okay, that's quite simple, but you need to remember about many things during the gameplay. The many mechanics, overlay themselves.
And the queue of action is also important.
Yes.
You have to remember when the enemies activate outside their turn. You have to be watchful about the facing of the models on the map.
How the anomalies work, how the anomalies roll. We are playing this game third time. We have been playing the third scenario in our lifetime, and we still are using your rule book. But it's not like that. You have to stick your heads all the times, because sometimes we've got questions, and we need to check if we are thinking okay with what we know about the game. But most of the time, it clicked for us.
Yeah, miniatures are really cool. They are on par with the computer game version, especially monsters. But the Stalkers are super cool also.
I printed my own myself, a Stalker as well.
Yeah. I did a small research, and I believe if you love this setting, you can proxy additional Stalkers from the Infinity models, especially from Ariadna faction.
Oh, I didn't know that, but yeah, it makes sense, because like Ariadna is like looking similar to
and they have a Kazakh subfaction there. Okay. So with a bit of twist, but the weapons from the cards are also existing weapons, but some weapons are non-existing. You mentioned a few weapons which are similar to the real one, but they are twisted.
And the names are twisted because you need to. I do believe there are some like limitations in naming the game from the real world.
And in the original Stalker, are there any non-existing weapons, or
of course,
it is pure?
No, there is, because like it's still sci-fi. So there is a ghost rifle, which is an energetic weapon, like one shot but huge shot wave of energy. I do believe there are some weaponry in pistols which is not existent, or it's loosely based on some kind of weaponry. But right now I would need to replay some Stalker games, because right now I'm playing the Stalker Gamma, which is a mod pack, huge mod pack for the basic free games, and there the names are correct and the weaponry is correct actually. So I will need to check.
Yeah, we played yesterday, finished at 11 p.m. and we died. My Stalker Borsuk died from the radiation.
Yeah, and we need to stop the mission. The good point is that you've got a bunch of Stalkers to choose from, and if you die, it's not the end of the game for the person who is playing this character.
Yeah, especially with all the stretch goals, the pool of available Stalkers is quite big.
Yeah, so this is Stalker, and the second game we are playing, and we are hooked.
We are in love with this game, actually.
I stopped all my painting projects. I stopped painting Krieg. I stopped painting Warhammer Quest Darkwater to paint Malediction. It's so good. I don't even remember, playing the game, but the skirmish game, which hooked me so much at the start, and as much I'm getting into playing, reading the system, reading the cards.
To give you a brief description, it is a mix of card game and the war game.
Magic the Gathering meets the wargaming.
Let's say it's a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Because before the battle, you have to create a deck, which includes the units and the spells and your commander.
Yep.
Commander called Seeker, and you are fighting with your opponent, hunting for the artifacts for relics actually on the board, and killing each other. The goal of this main scenario is to reach to 40 points threshold. For each gathered relic, you gather 10 points, but you can lose these points if the unit carrying the relic dies. And you're gathering points for killing the enemies and gaining points for the cost of the enemies.
but mostly for for getting the tactical depth of the game. Most of the times you're trying to hunt those relics first, and then if you
because relics are
10
actually
points.
buffs, attachments to
As
your
well.
units, which improve capabilities of
There
each
are
unit.
4 of them in the game, and whenever I actually got 3 at the beginning, I smashed the opponent straight away afterwards. 2 more runs and the opponent was gone. So probably the most ideal game is where you get 2, your opponent gets 2, and then you both got fighting chance against each other.
Yeah, the setup is actually a big part of the game, because during the setup, firstly, you set up the 2 sets of terrains, which are super important because they also modify some rules. For example, some terrains give you cheaper spells, some terrains
Boost to movement.
boost to movement, etc., etc. And then you place 2 husks, and the opponent plays 2 husks.
And then deployment.
And then you have to bid for the initiative and for the deployment zones, which is super important part, because if you have initiative, you act first. But if you have deployment, you can pick the zone which is closer to the husks. So I really love this part, this early part of the game, because it is already really tactical, and you have to place the terrains,
especially
husks, correctly to your deck.
Especially terrain, at least for my army, which is the Order of the Shattered Throne. I've got the boost in the movement, and I tried to place my husks to make my opponent unaware of what I'm doing. I placed them very not so optimal for my positions for my army, but I placed the terrain in a way where after my first activation, I've got 3 units and 3 husks anyway. So placing the terrain is also crucial, as well as positioning your minis later on in the game. So as well, deck building is also so very important, because playing with too many cards.
Yes, Seekers may be monocolor or dual color.
Dual color for now.
Because there are 4 main factions right now.
4 colors.
4 colors right now. I believe we will remain on the 4 colors for some time. This year, I'm on the Discord of the Malediction. This year we will receive a support pack. Each is support pack for each faction, which will contains around 15 cards and 6 miniatures. Miniatures are, by the way, 3D printed.
And you can buy actually them.
You can buy them, and you can buy the standees also. Miniatures are supreme.
For the pack of cards, you're getting a new dice right now, and cards and a QR code to scan and to register your miniatures and download them and print them for yourself.
We did not mention about the dice, because it is a D20 system.
You're rolling it twice in the game. Once when you're placing a terrain to determine who does that first, and for the fighting you're rolling D20. And the system is constructed in a way where I do believe there is very narrow middle ground in throwing, because you either, in my experience from the game, I played 4 times, I do believe, right now, you either roll completely miserably or you roll very good, because you've got that system in attacking, hitting, and grazing.
I disagree.
Okay,
I agree to disagree with you, because right now the pool of units means that usually most of the units have around 11 armor, and most of the units have at least +2 to the hit,
to the roll hits.
So it is more often to hit than to not.
And so maybe we experience this very differently, because I had so many bad throws in this game. So maybe I need to play a little bit more to do this.
It is a matter of the correct spells also.
Or is it can be the matter of also the army, because the construction of the army, because and playing the miniatures which are in the army, because I had 2 matches where I didn't have any of my legendary units, and my basic units were very easy to kill.
If you can explain 3 feelings about the game.
My first is excitement. I'm always excited when I want to play and when I want to think about deck building and stuff. Second thing, possibilities. I do believe, getting all the decks, all the cards, and you can do many nice things, even if there is not so much in the game, because we've got 4 factions, we've got 2 seekers per faction right now, I do believe. For the 2 factions, we've got 3 seekers per faction.
Yeah, because we have Liena and Grisia. Yeah.
Yes, there are 2 new seekers from beyond the starters.
Yeah,
let's
from
say
the
like
Wave
this.
1 expansion.
Yeah, it is much, but card systems are way bigger, right? So like, even with that many cards we've got in the game, we've got many possibilities. And third thing, tactical gameplay. I like it. I really like it, the tactical gameplay and depth of the tactical gameplay, and things you can do on the table with what you're getting in the cards. So that's it, in my opinion, right? For you?
For me, it is speed.
Yeah, that's
because
actually...
the game is super quick. We are able to play 2 or 3 games during
3-4 hours span.
3 hours,
Yeah,
I will say, because sometimes when you have a good plan, the game can be finished really quick. So the first one is speed. The second one, I will say the rules. The rules are easy to learn.
That's true.
They are really easy to learn.
You can read the book.
Because the depth of the game is in the cards and in the synergy between the units, and not inside the micro rules and stuff like this.
Yeah, like in the 40K.
And the third one for me is the lore, because I read all the lore for the game and all the articles, and I find it a bit of grimdark, which I like. And the game is created by the team from the South America, I believe.
Yes,
they are from Brazil.
Loot Studios are from Brazil.
Of course, probably they have people from around the world, because right now you can be global. And there is a certain feeling that they based maybe on their own legends, on their own culture, and tried to make it a bit European. I have the same feeling when I'm playing the Elden Ring, for example.
So yeah, so Japanese stuff.
When the Japanese stuff is trying to create a good Western style CRPG or action RPG.
Yeah, and you're getting something completely original, right?
Or maybe the Crimson Desert from the recent games.
Yeah.
So
there is an aesthetic. Yeah.
There are so many tropes you already know, because they are deeply rooted in the Western fantasy Warhammer style, but they are twisted in a super cool way, which is fresh for me as an European, as some Polish guy. So I really like the lore, and I really like that they decided to put a lot of resources into creation of the lore, because some producers
leave that place.
Don't care.
Like I when I was searching with Warcrow for some content.
The Warcraft is bland for me.
It's so
models are nice, especially the latest releases with the cavalry.
Yes, so they're so beautiful.
It's a candy. It's an eye candy.
But there is some like lore articles on the website. It's not even close to anything more than you're fighting in this world and that's it, basically.
And the creators of Malediction decided to create almost 70 pages full of art, lore book, available for free for all the players. Rulebook is also available for free. So,
and you're getting something, I do believe, when you're buying a starter set, you're getting a QR code for as well another pamphlet with lore with your faction.
It is the same.
It's the same. Okay. I haven't checked
it is the same.
I don't know that, haven't touched it yet, but I know you did this, and if it's a good part, it's a good part.
And what do you think about the miniatures?
As I said,
what do you like the most?
As I said, I like the scale. I like the scale because
they are slightly bigger.
They are bigger. It's not 32 millimeters.
It is in pair with the Shatterpoint and with the Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Yes,
it's not in proportion, but in height.
It's similar, and I really like it because it's so much easier to paint for me. I am not like on a level with painters from the studio, and like I like the fact that I have a little bit more space to maneuver. So painting is really good for me. That's the second thing, scale and painting. I feel there is a lot of things you can do with this. You can paint it simple, you can paint it very complicated, and in both ways the miniatures will look good. So the second thing, and the third thing, there is something I'm thinking about this right now. There is something you said about this, mixing cultures, Eastern with those, Southern American. There is something different. I've picked the faction which is most like knights and so on. But there is something, there is a twist in those miniatures which I cannot name directly, but they are very original in its form, in its, how they are built and stuff.
Sometimes the sculptors, in my opinion, because I saw already thousands of models, sometimes they are a little bit too detailed.
Yes.
A little bit too detailed.
That's true.
Sometimes less is more, but they are amazing anyways. Sometimes I just have a feeling of the models created by GW in 2020, 2060, when they fully moved to the 3D design, and it was, wow, we can put so many details on models. And on the render, it looks cool. On the final models, it is not so good and definitely very hard to paint.
You need to be a surgeon to do some stuff, right?
But it is only for a few sculpts from the whole line. Anyway, I totally love them, and I have a few favorite ones. For example, Thunder Steps from the Primal Blood with this crystal in the head.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. Like there is something to it, and if you haven't checked those, check those out, because like they're really good. So
I think that we will get back to this system at a later stage.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see something on our social media. Maybe we'll create some kind of blog with, for example, mutual review of the system.
Yeah. Because like we are knees deep in the system right now. So, and I'm looking at the time which we are talking about it. We need to finish because we've got a huge preview to talk.
Yeah.
But we can talk about this game like for so long, because miniatures, the system, the cards, our future plans about the game. Jesus.
And we are still waiting for the StarCraft, yeah?
Yes, that's it. I know some people got those, got some starter sets.
Lucky you.
Yeah, very lucky you, because I'm waiting for my collector's edition. What I will do with it, I don't know. Jesus, so many backlog. Christ. Like I'm in the deep, hole with a plastic.
Yeah. And it is an advertisement panel. Please remember that we are commission painting studio, and if you have your pile of shame, which is impossible to unload by yourself, just send us email. Yes. And this is the end of the advertisement part.
And as well, probably as our hobby part, let's move to the Big Summer Preview.
Yeah.
So yeah, Big Summer Preview. A lot of stuff went on with Armageddon, like correlated to Armageddon, and we should probably start with it, because I'm talking about starter sets. Latest 10th edition went with, Tyrannies versus Space Marines, and then we've got also introductory sets, starter sets after that, after big box of the launch of the edition. So we are getting Space Marine versus Orcs again, right? Like the box. And there are many entry points where you can entry.
Yeah. If you want to listen about our thoughts about the starter, feel free to play our last episode. Yes. Where we had a long panel about the
11th edition starter.
Yeah.
I think we will be on the same page with the starters, those introductory sets. We are getting, full, not full, smaller scale, of course, but Space Marines versus Orcs with additional 11 paints for each faction. We are getting some smaller introductory sets for each faction with smaller number of paints.
One of this set, I believe, have cardboard terrains.
Yes, cardboard terrains, and this is like a normal. How GW tries to get people into the hobby right now after the big box.
In one Kill Team starter set, we had MDF pre-painted terrains too. Right now it's cardboard.
It's cardboard.
So GW went cheap.
Yes, but still, I cannot tell anymore if this is useful or not as a starter entry point, because I didn't enter the Warhammer in this way. But if you missed the Armageddon box, they are still available. But if you will miss this is probably a good entry point. But let's be honest, to paint actually that stuff, you will need something more than those paints inside. That's my take.
That's true.
That's my take.
What's really interesting for me is the first line of pre-painted terrains from GW.
That's what I wanted to talk. Combat Patrol terrain, like a separate set. So you've got a full set of pre-painted terrain for Combat Patrol. Battlefields. So the sold separately parts of terrain. Plus, and this is something new, I do believe, gaming mat.
Yeah, that's true.
That wasn't. I don't remember, GW giving us the official playing mat with the dimensions for the battle.
Maybe it was some kind of limited run, but
I
don't remember in regular line.
So you don't need to make terrain from cans. You don't need to make terrain from L-shaped stuff. You've got something original and from something from Games Workshop.
Because right now in 11th edition we are operating on footprints of the terrain
as well, and the objectives are also terrain. So there was a lot of build up on this terrain. I'm just wondering if GW will tell on the tournaments, if you want to play tournaments, official tournaments, you need to use our terrain. This is something that
I don't think so. But going back to the pre-painted terrains, I saw the news that the full set will cost around 400 USD.
So it's a bit of.
It's a bit of, but
on the other hand, it's not a bit of.
It's not a bit of.
Yeah.
And I think it is a good move from the GW. It is a new technology.
Like natural.
Previously, it was used by the Archon Studio for their D&D line.
Pre-painted terrains, right? Yep, there is it. We'll probably have it in our studio as well, in our shop. So you can check this out.
And probably we will have pre-painted terrain from GW too.
As well.
Because our main goal as Minis for War is to provide everything you need to play painted and ready to go straight from the box.
With full immersion.
Yeah.
With full immersion, full invest.
And let's be honest, painted terrains and good-looking board and good bases and painted models is a combo which is a peak of the wargaming. You try to play some games without painted models and with painted models.
Let's be honest.
Without the terrains painted and with the painted terrains.
When we played Malediction right now, there are some poses of the miniatures. So let's say I've got 3 units and I only got 1 of those in my hand. When I play this card, I chose as well always the most painted one to field.
Yeah, and remember when we played the Moonstone with this village with painted models, it is another level of the wargaming because everything painted creates the story.
Yes.
And the story is something you remember the day after, a week after.
And you can tell something like, oh, still you can play this without painting. Yeah, just like to fully understand this phenomenon, you need to play with gray or whatever color your plastic goes with, and then play with painted, and you will feel the difference. You will feel the difference very, very much. So for me, it's also understandable movement from GW as well, because I was wondering, we've got Necromunda terrain, right? We had Necromunda terrain. We had some pieces of terrain, but there was not so much beyond the kill team for the normal 40k, right? So like there was a lot of third-party stuff going on, and I think GW saw that empty field on their own, enter it. It's a natural move for them. Yeah, we'll see how it will actually evolve, because we'll see if this terrain will be for, quarter of the year or half of the year, or if they will actually, reveal in the time.
Probably they are waiting for the sales results.
Yeah, probably to see if there
is a market for such expensive from the point of view of average gamer,
or if they will add as a variant where it's not painted and we can actually paint it, but it will be cheaper. I don't know.
I believe if they have the possibilities to produce the plastic, they will probably release it unpainted too. But time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to the orcs.
Orcs, like the full refreshment. New minis.
The same way the Tyrannids and the Necrons had in the previous editions.
And I love that, actually. I really like even those new miniatures they showed on
the new war truck is cool.
It's cool. So the old one had something a little bit more in it, in my opinion. But it's cool. It's still cool. The new war boss, the new mech is better, way better in my opinion.
Agree.
And that's it. It's good that we seen new Armageddon
Do
miniatures.
you think we will see even more orcs?
I don't know. Right now,
Yesterday, GW showed us new Outriders.
okay.
By the way, they looked exactly the same as the old one, just have a bit more variety of the weapons. Firstly, because right now, post Armageddon release, there is a live campaign where you can play and send the result, and due to that,
I do believe Space Marines won.
Space Marines won the first part of the campaign, and the prize for the players is to reveal a new model for
the faction.
And I saw why they showed us
orcs,
Outriders.
Yeah.
Well,
where is my Space Marine?
I mean, they are Space Marines. Outriders are Space Marines, but they look exactly the same as the old one. Where is the new reveal? And okay, it's refreshed, so you can use different weapons.
We saw this type of refreshments before,
especially for Space Marines.
In my opinion, it's actually pretty fast for a new codex for the new edition. When did Orcs Codex went for the 10th edition? Do you remember? Because I don't.
I don't remember, but it is quite common for the faction to receive a new codex if they are part of the original.
Okay, I don't remember how it was before. So that's why.
Just to cover a lot of new units
which are added.
Okay,
that makes sense. That makes sense. What I really like with the fact that what GW makes with the accessibility of the rules, which is command pack. So this small box added to the codex, and you need to buy it separately, but added to the codex, where you've got, as far as I understood the news, you've got all your detachments, like in the form of cards, in the form of paper stuff, to play, not to traverse through the codex to find your stratagems, your rules and stuff, plus some tokens, some markers. So I'm wondering if they will hold the ground in terms of errata and updates. This is the first thing, because GW throw a lot of detachments before the 11th edition. Do you remember the new 40k, and there were detachments. Even Astro Militarum, my army got a lot of in the ring box, two new detachments, and then they were thrown out of nowhere in those new 40k hashtag new 40k campaigns. So having 6 in the codex plus this build up, you will need something to maneuver through this. We will see, because I haven't played still the new edition, so we'll have to see how actually it works. But this is, for me, on the paper, it's a good move, rules wise, and accessibility during the gameplay to those rules.
Sticking with the 40k, let's jump into the next reveal, which is Eldari Exodites.
In our recent giveaway, not the recent one, because we finished as well a giveaway, but
congratulations to you all.
To the winners. But in the previous one, not the actual one, but the previous one, we had asked people about their favorite, the diorama which they can, make with their own mind, 100% custom models, whatever they want, right? And one of the guys has written that he wants an Exodite hunting down in the forest, thick forest, hunting down Astro Militarum, Imperial Guard, you name it, right? So he can actually do this right now. Because we've got the Eldari on the dinosaurs, or whatever they call
versus orcs.
Versus
Quick Hawk boys,
yes.
I believe. So it is a cavalry fight in the jungle. But what's more important, it is 20 mission campaign designed for the cooperative.
Yeah, and that's what I'm wondering. Solo play and cooperative play, again, GW goes into the, that types of
For
things.
me, it is a really surprising pivot, because Kill Team is previously known from the super tight competitive rules, tournament, etc., etc.
And it feels
and the last expansion, it was co-op solo hunt for the boss.
Yes.
The next one is 20 mission, not one, not two, 20 mission campaign dedicated for cooperative joint ops.
I want to ask one thing right now. 40K was always competitive. Did GW making a skirmish game, which is also competitive, didn't they, put something like second type of the game, which is like exactly the same in the aim, in the target of the game? Like,
Who knows?
and they are seeing like, okay, we have got a lot of tournaments for 40K. The kill team didn't launch off. Okay, it did launch off, but it didn't launch off to their expectations. And like, okay, what we can do with this? Like, what's the next step here, right?
I believe that the cooperative war game is a still heavy unexplored niche.
It is. We are looking at solo wargaming, but co-op, right? Yeah, like how you play co-op war game, Jesus.
Yeah, and this is a really nice niche, because I totally get it that it is so cool to meet with your buddy, deploy your, for example, you are deploying your creeks, I'm deploying my Kasrkin or Scions, and we are fighting together against the Orc wave or the Tyrant wave in the campaign, and we develop our squads and buy new specialists, and we are not playing versus each other, but we are playing versus the game and have fun from the cooperation, like the synergies between our forces.
Or like two completely different detachments, let's say like that. Right now I'm still reading Siege of Rax, where Space Marines aided the Krieg. And like, you've got smaller amount of units. I've got a horde army with Kriegsmen, and we are trying to fend off the chaos forces.
And when you are thinking about it,
it's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome, right? So but making this the rule sets and stuff. I think the GW is the first player which has a solid base of rules, existing rules, which they can adapt to this system, right? So
I bet that the sales department from the GW is watching expansions focused on solo and on co-op really carefully, and I won't be surprised if we will see the next edition of the Kill Team focused on solo and co-op and additional PvP mode. But of course, it's only a bet.
Time will tell. Let's move on from the 40K to some fantasy, because the second big thing, let's say, because it was.
I will break your movement, because we have one more thing to tell about the 40K, and it is Custodes.
I'm sorry. Yes, I wanted to actually merge it with some other stuff, but Custodes, yeah.
It is a short introduction, but it is worth to mention that finally you can create a full army in plastic.
Plastic tanks, right, bikes,
because it is the second big wave of plastic releases for this army, and finally we can get rid of the old resin models and focus on the plastic.
Dreadnoughts, when I was making photos, and tanks were always
finally Telemon Dreadnoughts in plastic, finally Venatari in plastic. So I'm all in, because the old models are cool, but they are outdated.
And they are heavy to, take with VR.
They are expensive, they are heavy, they are resin, so they tend to break in the most craziest way.
Tend to, the wobble and, make some weird stuff. I don't remember we had Custodes which has those lances, and they were wearing straight.
And now we can smoothly drive to the Old World.
Because we've got a starter to Old World, 2-player starter even. I asked you if there was a 2-player starter for the Old World, because I don't remember.
By the way, did they reveal the models on the preview, and they were put on the Sunday preview a few days later?
A few days later, 3 days later. So it's rapid fire succession here, because it was very, very quick.
Because usually
it takes a bit.
It takes around 2 months from the preview.
Yeah, sometimes faster, sometimes slower. But this was rapid fire, as I said, because 3 days later we've got preview, and those models, those starter sets, will be available as we speak in this week, during this weekend, right? So for pre-order. So it was fast, in my opinion.
The new Chaos Warriors versus the Katai.
Chaos Cavalry and Chaos Warriors. so great.
bulky.
But they look so great. I really like where the old world chaos faction is heading, like in the style. I was thinking what I could proxy, because I won't play old world probably. I could proxy with those miniatures. Like they're so good.
I just don't know why they decided to put 8 models per unit instead of 10 for
That's
the
weird.
infantry.
That's weird. That's actually weird. But as I said, I don't play. I probably won't. So I don't know. Maybe it has some deeper meaning in the rules. But and Chaos Dragon is also a nice touch in my opinion.
It is good to see us support for this game.
Yeah. As we said, new army and right now new starter. I don't remember there was a starter for Old World. You said there was
With the Tomb Kings and Bretonia.
Okay, I don't remember this one actually.
Yeah.
So it
It is a second
Okay.
big starter set
It
for.
flew under my radar, so I don't remember it. But yeah, it's nice to see the Old World
There was
fans.
a starter at the start of the Old World.
Okay, so that's it about the Old World. Let's still see it in the fantasy setting, because there are some hungry guys in the AOS which will have a new models.
Ogre Maw Tribes.
Ogre tribes, new army set, new models. I really like again the cavalry from there.
Finally, new models, because the old line is out of production for quite some time, and we had to pass at least 2 commissions because the models are not available anywhere.
We painted the icy scheme guys, Ogre Maw tribes, and I do remember when we were ordering, I do believe those models, they were so difficult to track actually, and it was a huge luck to actually grab them.
I hope that with this release, GW restock with other kits, and we will have it. The look of the army is on par with the previous one. There is no a big twist or revolution.
No.
It's more like refreshment and evolution of existing design.
Big, hungry guys with huge bellies, and a huge of levels of angry in their eyes. So that's it. What I was thinking, because there is nothing about it in the preview, no spearhead. Army set is there, but when they were releasing the
in the meantime, GW released the second edition, second season of the spearhead, I believe.
So yeah, but yeah, always there is a preview of the new army, or let's say there was the fact for a Magotkin of Nurgle because it was one of the recent ones, and there was a spearhead added to it, Bobonic Cell. Right now, I was wondering, why there is no spearhead? We'll see. Maybe they will launch it later. Let's move on to the smaller systems a little bit, because we've got a Blood Bowl. And Blood Bowl is also, converting to plastic. We're not playing Blood Bowl, but our dearest friend.
I see a movement from GW where even the specialist games are produced in plastic.
Then that's good move.
Previously, it was mostly a domain of the resin kits.
Sometimes metal.
Sometimes metal, but not recently. Metal. It was old
made to order stuff.
But a few years ago, when GW wanted to release a single hero, anniversary hero, they were in resin. Right now, it's mostly in plastic, even for the single niche heroes.
And right now, the 3 big guys, so there is a Minotaur, there is a one Morgan Forg guy, and Rat Ogre are coming in plastic, and that's it. That's basically it. There are some update rules, but yeah, we are not specialists in Blood Bowl here.
Legions Imperialis was mentioned in the preview, but we did not receive anything significant.
Some weaponry
for previously available in resin. Now it will be as a plastic sprue, but the expectations of community were much higher because the community expected at least light tanks for the Solar Auxilia, or maybe introduction of the Custodes to the system. And we received only, I'm telling we because I'm collecting all the armies from this game. We received only a sprue of the weapons, which is okay, but when
not great, not terrible.
It was terrible, to be honest.
Okay.
When you are seeing the logo of your favorite game on the Big Summer Preview, and there is a one sprue,
Yeah.
it wasn't good.
Talking about disappointments, Bart, tell us more about Necromunda.
For me personally, it is not a disappointment.
Okay.
Because
I haven't talked about this before, but there is a community.
Because I expected this new edition of Necromunda many months ago. We have completely new rules. Everything before this new edition is no longer valid. So if in 40k you can use all old codexes,
Necromunda not.
in Necromunda you cannot use your house books, your expansion books, etc., etc. And I agree, it is not cool. But at the same time, right now, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the Necromunda was bloated with the rules. It was
too much.
So hard to track the expansions, mini expansions. You had one unit here, one unit there,
For me,
FHQ, a few different versions of trademark.
For sake of knowing the system to talk about, because I'm not playing, you're playing, I try to understand what's going on with that game, and due to the fact what we are talking about right now about the rules, I was like, well, it's big.
The system, the Necromunda system in the core is a really, really good game. And because it is a really, really good game, there is a lot of players who are trying to defend this system. But I also understand the GW that they wanted to have a fresh start because the overhang of the rules was too big. They announced that they will simplify the game, and I'm afraid of this too, because simplified by GW sometimes means bland.
And means taking all the fun stuff, right? Probably.
Yeah. But we have new refreshment again, refreshment of the Escher gang, of the Goliath gang. Unfortunately, with only 8 models, not 10, the same as the Chaos Warriors. Again. Who knows? Maybe it is
plastic inflation. Maybe.
It is a plastic inflation. We also have a little bit of the terrains. I expected that the new edition. I remember the Dark Uprising set. It was the starter set for a new Necromunda in 2019 around maybe, and it was super big, heavy box with 2 big guns and full board full of terrains. Right now we received some pipes, so it's quite meh. Okay, I will buy this set anyway, just to check the rules, just to gather all the models, because I have all the models for Necromunda released, all of the plastic and the Forge World ones. So to have my complexion complete, I will need it. But yeah, again, time will tell.
What will happen with the system?
The outcome from the community is quite bad right now. I hope that it won't kill the system, because of course, if the sales will be low,
will push down,
we won't see the enough support, and it means no expansions, no new models. You know how it works.
And the second thing is, I do believe this is with this closed system, with when new edition comes with complete rework of rules, there is nothing stopping you from playing the game in the older sets, or trying
or even using completely different system to play.
Because this system won't be updated anymore, so you've got a closed game which you can play whenever you want, right?
And the community of Necromunda is awesome, so probably we will see some kind of ultimate edition, fan-made rule books with the all FHQs compiled and stuff like this.
Yeah. So like yeah, this is it
this is it for the preview.
For the preview, it was big one.
It was big one. It was juicy. We saw a lot of cool models. We did not mention about the new animations on Warhammer Plus.
And there is some kind of a painting academy, but yeah, what we know how to paint, so we haven't looked at this a little bit more. But if you are curious, there is a full
there are a lot of news from other producers, but my proposal is to postpone it to the next
Next one.
episode.
Yeah,
Because
we are also it's about 1 hour. So yeah,
it's about 1 hour.
Jesus Christ.
And probably if we will cover the rest of the reveals, and they are really worth to talk about,
mention.
and not just to speed run through them.
You know what? I will tell differently. You will find more news in our newsletter. Because I'm putting this as well on the newsletter. Proszę for you. If you're listening still, proszę in Polish is like you can say proszę is like really. And there was a time when Bart said something to me which was like astonishing in English, and I said proszę, but with the English accent, and that's how it went. Proszę. So yeah, so proszę really. We will have all the news in the newsletter, so link down in below to subscribe. If you are still here and so you're still listening to us, thank you very much for spending your time with us. You know,
maybe our podcast is not so popular, but we have a lot of fun recording it.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed it as well as we did,
leave a comment or at least thumbs up on YouTube.
And thank you very much. See you on the next one. This was James from News for War.
And Bart from News for War. Thank you very much.
Bye.